is Pacific Revision. My name is Erick. You are happy to join us, and I wish I was here with Miguel. But look, man, I'll break the fourth wall here. We recorded today. What is it? October 11th, right after the Golden Knights banner raising ceremonies, a win against the Seattle Kraken, right before the LA Kings game, and our audio shit. I sound like a robot. I may edit this in for you. You could exactly see what I'm talking about. It's unfortunate because Miguel is very looking forward to hearing our wonderful new theme song that you'll hear at the start of this. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just hear. I'll edit something again.
What up, everybody? Man, I do not get tired of hearing that new banger intro that we just heard right now. It's great. Freaking amazing. It's so good.
It's the best thing I did all off season. Hot garbage. God damn it. When everything goes right, everything goes wrong. Much like the LA Kings 5-2 loss against the Colorado Avalanche today. Didn't have enough players to field a full 20. They had to play with fucking one less forward than they needed. And guess who they played? Oh yeah, the Colorado Avalanche. The team who won the Stanley Cup right before the Golden Knights. Still really good. McKinnon, great. Rantanen, 4-point game. Makar, still good. So what an annoying day for me. And not that it matters to you, listener. I'm just happy you're here. I'm happy to talk hockey at least. Miguel, you're going to learn about this when I post this at like 10 a.m. our time at least, or 7 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Didn't work. We probably should have taken the fact that when I tried to do a theme song over our normal setup, I should have taken it out as a sign. A sign that sometimes everything's against you, but it's not about the failures and the losses. It's about how we pick ourselves back up. Let me try to remember. I'm just going to go through everything we talked about. Give you at least my 2 cents about everything. Congratulations, Miguel, the Golden One himself, on the banner raising ceremony of the Vegas Golden Knights. You know what? Before that, you know what? Lovely ceremony, cheesy as hell. Miguel, I know you liked it. I did not. This might have been the moment that made me absolutely hate and dislike the Vegas Golden Knights about how annoying I was. I wasn't this annoyed when they won the cup. I wasn't this annoyed when they fucking had their parade. I wasn't this annoyed basically the entire offseason. All these cute little videos of guys like Mark Stone and Jack Eichel having the time of their lives. And now I got the hiccups. God damn it. That's how upset I am and annoyed. But the goddamn ceremony, you know, Mark Stone getting introduced by the weird Golden Knight mascot that they have that isn't a mascot because the real mascot's Chance, the weird reptile thing. Mark Stone parades himself with the cup. Miguel let me know that this is the last time they're going to do this. Thank God. I'm tired of seeing them with the goddamn Stanley Cup. I've become a straight up hater since the ceremony yesterday. I'm 100% in on the hating. And Mark Stone parades around all cool and whatever. And he fucking puts down the goddamn, oh my God, he puts down the fucking cup right next to this fucking virtual slot machine. Hits the lever and it fucking jackpot. Boom, we get a banner. By the way, not an accurate representation of gambling in Las Vegas. Take it as someone who's been there multiple times. I never win anything. And most people don't either. So, false advertising in Las Vegas. What the fuck? Their banner, the stupid banner goes up. Also, the banner's kind of crooked. The design in the middle doesn't line up with the bottom of it, which I think is hilarious. It's just the whole thing was just. I couldn't roll my eyes hard enough. I mean, I didn't watch the game either. All this I learned through fucking social media. So the one game I didn't watch, great triple header. Miguel thinks too long. Too long because the last game ended at 11 o'clock. But as I said, it's a special occasion, you know. Not awful. It's 2 a.m. Eastern. A lot more awful there. So I don't think anyone saw from the East Coast side live in action that the little banner raising ceremony for the Golden Knights, which is typical of Western hockey. It's on too late. I've been on the East Coast trying to watch the Kings games. It's almost impossible. 10:30 start time sounds like a great idea. You get to fucking third period, end of overtime. You're struggling. Don't want a job on top of that. It's not a good time. So I get it. I now more fully understand. But first game, Nashville and Tampa. Good stuff. A lot of back and forth. the demises of the Tampa Bay Lightning are greatly exaggerated. There's a lot of predictions I saw. These preseason predictions are like where teams are going to end up. Basically, you know, within the standings, if they're going to be the playoffs or not, top of the division, bottom of the division, all that good stuff. Two of them really set me off. People thinking that the Calgary Flames are going to be good. I don't see it. I don't know how you look at that roster and be like, oh, they got better. Besides jettisoning their coach that no one liked into the sun, Daryl Sutter. And the other one is Tampa Bay Lightning. People picking them to be like 5th in the Atlantic or 4th in the Atlantic. It's just not going to happen. That team is still really deep. There's some questions on like the bottom end on the forwards and maybe the bottom pairing D, but that top part of that top 6 and the top 4 of defensemen was like guys like Chernak, Sergachev, Hedman, of course, and then on the front end, Point. Fucking Nick Paul showed up on this game, Brendan Hagel, and then you get stars like Kucherov and Stamkos. That team is still fucking good. Like, if they can stay healthy, and I know they're dealing with Vasilevsky, who is, you know, up there with like 1A, 1B with Shesterkin of the Rangers as the best goalie in the entire NHL. I don't see how this team isn't going to at least hang around. I understand 3 months is a long time. It's, you know, setbacks might happen. They may never get back Vasilevsky. It's always a weird like thing. It probably won't going to happen. But 3 months is a long time. Maybe 2. That's still a lot of games. They have to do with currently they have Jonas Johansson, who did fine. Pretty decent game. Didn't cost them anything. There weren't any goals that were like egregious. So those backbreaking like momentum killing goals that sometimes goalies allow. Didn't happen at all against Nashville. And like they're fine. They're fine. They might have to pick up a goalie off waivers maybe at some point or do something if depending on the news on Vasi, but they look good. Nashville fought hard. Ryan O'Reilly looks like a pretty decent addition. Who's their easily the number 1 center. Still got guys like Yossi and UC Saros there in net and in defense. Like, there's a lot of interesting pieces. Philip Forsberg's still there, of course. Cody Glass made a couple appearances on Power Play 1. Went out with a little of an injury scare, but came back. He looks to be kind of improved, and if he can stay healthy, who knows? There's a lot of things. They're going to be a difficult team to play in every night. I like the way the Nashville Predators look. From a trying standpoint, like they're going to be interesting. They're going to be in the mix. They might be the exact same way their season went last year, where they were there like up until the end and just couldn't, you know, qualify for the playoffs. But they're going to be a hard out, especially with UC Saros as a goalie and guys like Yossi and the affirmation Forsberg and O'Reilly kind of being the veteran presence. Then we'll see what kind of like young guys kind of stands out. Also, Luke Shen doesn't really move the needle for me, but I know they added him during free agency. Got beat, cost him a penalty shot, but you know, you need veteran guys to kind of balance out if you're going to play a bunch of young guys. Speaking of young guys, hey, shout out to this transition. Connor Bedard made his NHL debut. Boy, oh boy, the NHL loved bringing this up every goddamn moment. Tremendous kind of fanfare for him. And if the kid wasn't under a lot of pressure, right before the TNT broadcast, they showed this goddamn montage, amazing montage of Gretzky, Jordan, like all these goats in their respective sports. And then you have Connor Bedard, the next big thing. Oh boy, talk about fucking pressure. He did end up having his first point. I thought he looked fine. Didn't look like he was like too big for the moment. You know, like the moment was too big for him, I should say. It looked good. Brody can ball. Connor Bedard, a lot of skill, a lot of speed. You could tell that in the first power play unit, the director was like, let's figure out how to get Bedard the puck and figure that out by any means necessary. He's the guy who's going to enter into the zone, and he's also the guy who's going to be in that one-timer spot, and we're just going to try to feed him. Which, yeah, I mean, he's got the skill, he's got for it. And look, at the end of the day, he got his first point, secondary assist, and more importantly, the W. And tonight against Boston, Tough to fucking start your season with a back-to-back. He scored his first goal. Not on a win on that one, but he's looking the part. Doesn't look lost. I just gotta ask, God, TNT, ESPN, or wherever, can we stop with these stupid trackers? Like, after he scored his first point, he's like, this is how much he has to go to catch Crosby, who's he's playing against today. And then after his first goal, here's 1 goal for him and 902 for Wayne Gretzky. So just a little bit and the race is on. So all that stuff, yeah, we got to calm down. Like, we get it. He's getting so much, camera time off the ice, on the bench. You'd think he's Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game. Like, it's just ridiculous, the amount of just sitting around footage we got of Connor Bedard at the moment. But yeah, no, overall good game. Pittsburgh, man. Fun fact, Pittsburgh is old and they got older. Adding Erick Carlson, for my opinion, doesn't really move the needle for me. It does not solve a lot of their problems, but I understand when you have limited resources and you have to try your damnedest to win. Regardless of who's the GM, regardless of who's the president of hockey operations, as long as Pittsburgh has Malkin, Crosby, and Letang, they have to try to win. They have to try to win. Regardless if it's the right thing to do, they have to try to win. And it is tough. It's tough. They have no resources. They really don't have prospects. They really don't have draft capital. So they have to go out and get guys like Erick Carlson, who had a tremendous year last year, but I don't think it's a necessity for them, and in terms of what they're lacking. And, guys like Riley Smith, who are a dump cap off from Vegas. I bet you he wish he was at that Pittsburgh game and home opener instead celebrating with Vegas, but it is what it is. It's a business at the end of the day. But guys like that, you can get for cheap. They didn't pay that much of a ransom for Carlson. They paid nothing for Riley Smith. So it'll be tough for them. Like, I just don't see them making the playoffs. I see the exact same thing happening for them. And if they do get in, it'll be by a little bit, and it won't really matter. Like, have fun with your first round exit until they do something else. So, hats off to Connor Bedard. Prayers up for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll see where you're at. Maybe by Thanksgiving to find that magical stat. If you're in a playoff spot by Thanksgiving, you're in the show. Probably most likely than not. Who knows? So, it'll be interesting. And then the main event, Vegas Golden Knights, Seattle Kraken, 31 versus 32, as Miguel likes to say. Fun. I did not watch this game. I refused to. I went out drinking instead. I went out to a fucking brewery near my house. Saw all the clips I needed to. Brandon Tanev. That's a tough game for you, buddy. He scored a second goal of the game for Vegas was an own goal by Brandon Tanev. And not like one of these accidental, I went off my leg and went in. No, this went off your skate blade, buddy. It's tough. And then he got laid out by Brett Howden, who got suspended for 2 games for a head hit on Tanev. So that is a tough opener. But hopefully, it'll be interesting to see that Seattle. It'll be interesting to see where they're at. Was last year a blip for them? Was the opposite of a sophomore slump for them since they had such a bad first year? Can they build on it? Are they going to be as shot suppressive as they were last year? Can guys like Matty Beniers, will we see Shane Wright eventually? So a lot of questions on them, but they're a pretty well-rounded team. I think they'll be okay, but goaltending still on them. Like, Grubauer played, I think, fine, but the whole Seattle team, I don't think played well, at least by the highlights. But you can let me know. Comments down below, Miguel. You can also let me know if Seattle's as bad as they seemed. The other thing, my biggest gripe of the week, NHL, what the fuck? So last season, basically the end of last season, beginning of off season for them, they announced they're not going to do fucking warm up jerseys anymore for any cause. Basically saying fuck off to everything just because they didn't want to deal with the backlash that they got last season for some players were refusing to wear Pride jerseys for Pride nights and stuff like that, which already. We've talked ad nauseum. It's kind of soft for a lot of guys to kind of decide this when they've done it for fucking ever. You know what I mean? Like, this is a season that it's an issue, but whatever. That was kind of it. They kind of carried out and somehow decided to make it worse. Just when you think they couldn't, they did. it's fucking shit that I guess an internal memo got leaked, basically saying that hey, if you want to do a little thing during a Pride night or anything else like that, with Pride tape, which is just rainbow colored tape that goes on players' hockey sticks. Yeah, shit out of luck. That ain't happening. The NHL says, because I don't know, man. It's lazy. Like, that's my biggest problem with the NHL a lot of the times, and this is another fucking one of it. Is that they're lazy. They don't want to end up having to figure out a way to do this correctly. You know, I like to give people, less so organizations, the benefit of the doubt. But the fact of the matter is that, okay, if we're gonna leave it up to teams and organizations, what's the avenue to do so? And all you're doing right now is making it harder for everybody to celebrate these nights that's been so integral for fucking many years at this point. You know, it's a date that a lot of people circle around their calendars, a date that they usually want to go to the games. Like, I'm excited for the Kings. I'm Salvadorian. The Kings are having their first ever Salvadorian Heritage Night, and like, I couldn't imagine having this night be like, if I had this night for myself forever, all right, then for a couple of years, and it was something that we celebrate, and all of a sudden there's a big step. Like, someone would just step in and say no because, I don't know, some bullshit fucking religious reason that doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, like, wearing that jersey it just means you're supporting the people. You know, you're showing these people that they're welcomed. You're showing these people that they're loved at these things. And at the end of the day, like, that's what hockey and sporting events are. They're big communal gatherings, you know? It's just so frustrating, especially with, like, hey, look at the AHL. Hey, look at the ECHL still doing these big themed nights. And at the end of the day, like, the warm jerseys that they wore went to charity. You know what I mean? Like, and there hasn't been talks of, like, the NHL. Okay, well, you know, any profits lost through these things that these organizations used to make, we'll do it another way, or we'll replace any of the profits lost that these, you know, wonderful organizations have done. No, ain't nothing. The only reason the NHL did this is to not have to, in theory, put up with this, not have to address things. Like, we haven't seen Gary talk about this at all beyond, we want to make sure we want to do everything. Like, a bunch of bullshit lawyers speak, you know what I mean? Speak that means nothing at the end of the day. And that's kind of the most frustrating part, is that the NHL is never going to address this in a clear, concise, you know, language, you know, non-bullshit way. You know, it's always going to have a hidden meaning, or just going to be a bunch of, you know, word salad, as people like to say. It's going to be a lot of nothing. Like, they're never going to talk to us as people. You know, it's this big fucking conglomerate that just wants to take the easy way out on a lot of things. You know, it's just frustrating. And it does bring me some joy that guys like Scott Lawton of the Flyers and Connor McDavid has basically came out already and said, hey, you know, we're probably still going to put the tape on, and if they want to do anything about it after that, then they can go ahead and fine them, which is, you know, pretty ballsy on them. And great. It shows a care for the people in that community and stuff. And, you know, the night that really matters for, you know. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of just rambling at this point, but it's just honestly just so frustrating. God damn. As a fan of the league, a lot of the times you just bury your head at the decisions that the league does, because for as cool as the sport is, the league is just a giant headache on a lot of its decisions and the way it markets, and, you know, so much kind of ugh is the best way I can put it. Yeah, and to end on a different note, we talked about expansion a little bit. It'd be kind of hilarious if Atlanta gets the third shot. It'd be even more so funny. Canada, I'm sorry. I hate to pick on you, but you kind of deserve it, because, you know, a little arrogance over the you know, ownership of the sport. But how funny would it be if, hear me out. All right, hear me out. How funny would it be if the Arizona Coyotes move to Houston, right? Houston needs a team. That's probably the next spot for expansion anyways. And then the 33rd and 34th team are just Arizona again for a second time and fucking Atlanta for a third time. God, the internet that day would be amazing. But yeah, Miguel felt like it's too many teams. I don't know. Like we talked about it, like the NBA and MLB are still at 30 teams. The NFL is the only other one in the major North American sports that has 32 teams. And there hasn't really been talk about expansion in the NFL like there has been in the NHL, but they're two different sports. Just the personnel is a lot more. Like there's 55 people to a roster compared to 20 in the NFL. So it's a little bigger size, and playing once a week, it's just different. The NHL might be able to pull it off a little bit easier in terms of expansion. That being said, it's weird that the NBA hasn't yet. Yeah, tell people to a team a lot smaller. I believe there's 700 like NHL players, so 12 times 30, 320. So like almost half of the player pool, and still only 30 cities. Like they haven't gone back to Seattle yet. They're probably gonna do the NHL thing where 31 and 32 are Seattle and Vegas. So it'll be interesting to see. Like it's not gonna be anytime soon, but with as much rumblings there is about where they're gonna go, and like Utah's another decent option because the Kings have played their preseason Frozen Fury game there a bunch of times, and hey, you got an owner with a building who's interested. Same thing with Houston. So anything can happen. I'll probably wrap it up here. Opening week has been, at least the first two opening days, I should say, still in opening week, has been interesting. There's a lot of things. Edmonton got shellacked tonight, 8-1. Did not see that coming. Brock Besser, 4-goal game. JT Miller, 5 points. Hell of an impressive output by the Vancouver Canucks, because I know that Vancouver, you've needed this. We gotta have a friend, Antonio, who's a Vancouver Canucks fan, and it's just kind of cathartic for him to see his team just come out of the gate swinging, shellac the Oilers. A very big, shocking game, but I mean, the Oilers will be fine. It's a long season. It's just game one, but losing game one the way you do kind of just set a tone for the entire year, but we'll see. You had Montreal and Toronto go at it. Austin Matthews Hattie. That guy can score goals. Who would have guessed? The former Rocket winner is good at scoring goals. Sloppy game, not a lot of defense. Also, I had Ilya Samsonov on my fucking fantasy team. He allowed 5 goals on 19. I think he made 19 saves. So 24 shots, he let in 5 of them. He ended up with a -2. -2. Fucking shit. Thanks a lot. And I fucking the worst part is that I traded for him today because I was like, oh, let me bolster my my net, because all I really had was Shesterkin. That's about it. I was fucking better off doing nothing. We had the Jets and the Flames. The only things I care about that is my old buddies who got traded there. Shout out to Gabe Bilardi, Alex Iafallo, Rasmus Kupari. Alex Iafallo, goal tonight. First one as a Winnipeg Jet. I love that guy. Undrafted free agent for us back in 2017. I fucking love all those guys that left. It's a huge bummer, but PLD is not my new babe. PL Dubois. Love him. He played decent today. Kings were all around sloppy. Orlando was my team. Sloppy. It doesn't help that we're playing a really good Colorado Avalanche team. 4-point game out of Mikko Rantanen. Goal by McKinnon. Makar also had a goal. Like, their stars came to play. The stars were better than our stars. It didn't help that we had to play one person down because of the cap. And it doesn't help that person was Victor Arvidsson. We'll see. In the recording with Miguel, I definitely said, we play Colorado today, and then the other two in the first 3 batch that we have is Carolina, the other contender, and Winnipeg, just to by way of the trade a very, very important game for us, because who fucking knows? Someone's going to kill us. Someone that we treat is going to kill us, and it's probably going to be Gabe Velarde. But it was a very big possibility we started off the season 0-3. Like, I'm not kidding. The pessimist in me won't allow me to not think that that's a possibility. So by the time I record again with Miguel, I might be winless. Because as Miguel liked to put it, his team started off the way it ended, as winners. And so far the season ended the exact same way it did for me, losers. So not excited about that. But I'll leave it up here for you guys. Thank you guys. Sorry it's just me. Hopefully I was entertaining enough for you. Also, I'm recording this at 1 a.m. because we're fucked. I spent about an hour trying to fix the audio thing, and it just wasn't happening. Miguel will be back next week. I'll be here. We're trying to get a couple guests going. If you could like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to it. Just tell your friends. Subscribe using your mom's account, your parents' account. We need to help this grow. It's been tremendous, by the way. Our podcast, our download numbers are still surprising to me every fucking day. The fact that we have as many people that listen to this, and this started kind of more like a journal, I guess, between me and Miguel. So hopefully we'll able to catalog more thoughts between each other and not just me having to fucking recap everything because the goddamn audio doesn't work. But appreciate everyone listening here. We have a Twitter account or whatever the fuck that platform is called now, at Pacific Revision. You can follow me on Twitter or whatever, _ Erick Oriana, _ ERICKORELLANA. It's also on Threads. I'm on Threads, baby. It's not awful yet. Follow me there, same handle. Also Instagram, I guess. You can watch me see the food I eat. Sometimes pretty good. But until next guy, hope y'all have a wonderful day. And until next time, peace.